Warning! This show is for adults, by adults, using adult language, role-playing adult situations, and possible controversial topics. No situations or topic reflects the views of the Dungeon Master or the players in real life. You have been warned. Warning! This show is for adults, by adults, using adult language, role-playing adult situations, and possible controversial topics. No situations or topic reflects the views of the Dungeon Master or the players in real life. You have been warned.
Alright, here we are. Today with the stream. Why are we facepalming? Hi. We're live. How you doing?
Dick chocolate.
No!
Penis.
Okay, get it out the way. The cat has come pester me at this time. Alright. So session 0, Chronicles of Elftharia. Let's go. I even have issues pronouncing the name. Fuck my life. Alright. The year is 1165 of the First Era. 200 or so years after the fall of the Dark Vale's Dark Baron, from which the kingdom inherited its name. 150 years since the elves elected a new, beautiful and valiant queen to watch over the Forest Heart. 40 years since the old dwarven king was laid to rest and the kingdom awaited the coming of age of his heir. 30 years since the new king of Heimgard, Ptolemon V, rose to the throne in the Risen Heights, and roughly 25 years after the disconnection of the Dark Vale settlements with the outside world. It is in these troubled times that we will find our heroes mingling in the Beastland for reasons known only to themselves, and each having received the most troubling anonymous letter urging them all back to the mainland to find a certain Dread Reaver who would be awaiting within the gutted last. Amidst the colorful and busy streets of Liriniar Harbor, with the loud conversations of the crowd composed mostly of the beast tribes, newly arrived travelers, and a few merchants that arrive, a carriage pulled by a most bizarre being. Victoria and Oshi, would you like to describe yourselves?
Well, Victoria has long platinum hair that is braided on both sides, and her dress is made of the finest silks and of the latest designs. And, well, she's got this locket around her neck that has a little stone. And, it's got a hole in the center of it, and it's around a leather cord around her neck. And she's currently carrying a parasol because, this heat is just terrible.
I'm a 6-foot tall raptor. The end. I'm a 6'1" orange raptor with gray and red eyes. That's all.
Alright, and whilst you all are making your way through, you two are making your way through the crowds, getting odd glances towards Oshi on the way towards the boat that you were said was secured for your voyage. Strutting forward with the same destination in mind, determination fueling your steps, Abigail, present yourself.
So, Abigail is dock bound, right? Heading for the ship. You kind of, from a distance, she just looks very wizardy, just just kind of the way she carries herself. You could see there's a staff on her back and robed, and every once in a while the robe will slide to the side and you can see like a spell book hanging on her hip. But as it gets closer, you notice it basically looks like a wizard that you stuck into Photoshop and scaled up a bit, because she's big. Just the way she carries herself, she tries to seem small, but her presence is far more foreboding. As she nears, her staff is basically like monstrously oversized, and it's like, that's a little funky. As she's strolling down the dock, somebody like bumps into her with a crate, and instead of falling over like you'd expect a wizard to, the person bounces off of her, and she just kind of like dusts off and keeps moving.
But then she's gonna compose herself and look over the whole of you once you start joining up together. Good. Looks like you're all here. I'm afraid you'll have to step down and out the vehicle, ma'am, so we can effectively store it for a voyage below deck, to avoid it being damaged, of course. Worry not, space is not lacking upon my ship. Now, if you'll follow me.
Oh, very well. And she will wait for Oshi to open her carriage door and help her down.
Reach his hand up.
Gently and daintily takes it and sort of steps in. Oh, thank you, Oshi. Now, don't be dawdling. We need to get my bags to my room so they can get the rest of this down in the hold, okay? That's a good... Thank you. And she just kind of like pats him on the side of his little raptor cheek as she just twirls her parasol and glides toward the ramp to the boat. She just basically ignores everyone else at this point.
And the one that you can assume being the ship captain is going to let you pass and look to the rest of the troop, which would be Quarry and Abigail and Portia, seemingly waiting for you all to move on ahead at your turn.
How big is the ship?
It's a pretty massive ship. Like, it's one you've seen many times carry a lot of merchandise. It's like a very, very sturdy ship. Not a lot of barnacles, so it's maintained pretty well. The sails are massive and dark, but other than that, it looks like just any other ship, just bigger.
Before I get on, I'm just going to refill one of the water skins and then head up on the ship. With seawater, I mean. And just wait for someone to give me directions to what they need next.
I'll follow the entourage after all the luggage and everything makes its way on board. I'll follow on and just give a whistle, and you see a raven lands on one of the cross posts for one of the larger masts, and just it's hanging out there, and I'll hang out on deck, trying to get a feel for the crew and who seems to be doing what, where the important people are, navigator, first mate, those kinds of folks.
Well, the crew at the moment is preparing for departure, most likely, so like cleaning part of the deck, hoisting, starting to hoist the sails a little bit, detangling ropes, that sort of work. Seems like the important person is the captain so far, that you even can probably see real quick. Alright, Portia, are you coming on the ship also?
Yeah, once I see it's clear and nothing's in the way, I make my way onto the ship.
Alright.
Find a decent place to kind of, I don't know, just stay out of the way of stuff coming on and off the ship.
Alright. So...
Well, oh, sorry.
Oh. Okay, so once you all have embarked upon the ship, the captain will follow you, and about 3 to 4 crew members are gonna surround your carriage, and you're gonna see them. It looks like they're casting a ritual, and then your carriage disappears.
Okay.
It has basically been teleported into the inside of the ship.
Okay, I'm sure I am quite used to seeing this when I travel across the ocean. So
Not a
I'm
lot of
actually gonna.
people do it, but it has been
Yeah.
sometimes used.
I'm gonna turn to the others that followed me onto the ship. Well, I do hope the rooms aren't too small. I do hate a stifling ride in a ship.
You will find the rooms to your likings. The captain's gonna chime in. I believe I have not yet introduced myself. I am Amelia Thorne. Welcome aboard the Dread Mistress.
Just gonna kind of look around at the other people. Oh, what's your name?
You they call me Portia.
Portia. That's a beautiful name.
And who would you be?
You can call me Lady Vic or Lady Victoria. If you want to be completely formal, Lady Umberstorm, I suppose, would be the most appropriate.
Okay.
Would that be a name that we might recognize? Is there like a prominence to that family?
There is you might have heard it by passing, but not essentially. It's one of these noble houses in the Risen Heights.
Okay. And then, are we the only sort of like passengers on the boat, and everyone else seems to be crew, or is it like was this charter just for us?
You do see one more figure with you all, but the figure's cloaked and making way towards the I forgot the name. To go under the ship. Basically, the person's living in another spot than you are. Alright, so with that, Ursid is gonna start moving and start heading seemingly towards the poop deck, but then he's gonna like turn a little bit and head towards one of the doors that you're gonna see near the staircases going up. Doesn't really say much. It's just following Captain's order, you know?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Corey Radis, a pioneer of, well, we'll probably find out later.
Well, bless your heart. Good to meet you.
So are you gonna follow the
Yeah.
Warforged?
Yeah, he's gonna show us to where we're meant to be saying it. As we're on the whale, kind of make a little bit of small talk with Quarry, just like wizard to wizard kind of a chat. Like, oh yeah, seems like you're a caster sort of a fellow. How's that working out for you? Enjoying your
Founding, founding a whole new school of magic. Life's work.
Oh, good, yeah. Just always tracking down those material components and practicing the casting, and you can see there's like very much a hollowness to it. There's like she's trying her best to seem like a caster, but it's very much phoned in. Like you can just
Yeah.
As a caster, you would still feel pretty presumptuous of somebody claiming of trying to found a new school of magic just like that, especially that
Yeah.
somebody that looks as blue as you are.
Yeah, who looks like a little skeletal. Not undead, just thin.
A little bit on the thinner side.
Yeah.
And what was your name, ma'am?
Abigail.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Abby to my friend, so I don't know if we're quite there just yet.
Abigail is just fine. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Does anybody have any idea why we've all been put on this boat together? Because, you know, I had to cut my vacation and shopping trip early for whatever emergency this is, and it's just really been an inconvenience.
Was there any details in that letter we got to come back?
Not really. All you had in the letters was to make your way back to the mainland through the first ship you will the first merchant ship that you're gonna find, expenses provided. Make your way back to the 12's Wood and find somebody called Dark Reaver in the Gutted Lass. You don't know if it's ominous or if it's just the name of a place. It's just how it was worded. It's like, is it gonna be something gruesome or
Dark Reaver?
You have a little while you were with the Cirque, but it's kind of far a little bit back with this foggy memories. You don't really want to revisit because of what happened.
Right.
So it rings a bell, but you're not quite sure.
So was it this Dark Reaver person that contacted all of you two?
I thought I won a free trip.
Probably so, though I can recall who this fellow is.
It's not a proper name, I can tell you that.
The name strikes some familiarity, but I can't quite place where it was. Something a long time ago. Maybe it'll come to me eventually. I don't know.
I hope the place is clean. I cannot abide filthiness.
Alright, so while you're all chit-chatting, you do happen to finally get into the officers' quarters. It's pretty spacious. They're divided. Let me switch you all scenes. If I can... that should do it, right?
Yes.
Nice. Alright.
Right, I recognize that boat.
Shh.
It's all coming
do
back
I.
to me.
Alright, so now you're basically over here in the officer. So there's 4 rooms with 2 bunks each. So Ursid's gonna look back to you and simply say, make yourselves at home. If you need anything, you need only call. And he's gonna just like that head out the door, probably to go to the captain's side or to do ward forge things, standing watch, who knows.
These are normally officers' quarters, you said?
Yep.
Or they're guest cabins?
The way when I was looking in the ship thing, usually these are officers' quarters.
Okay. So as the first mate goes to walk away, I'll just thank the junior officers for giving up their beds for us. It's appreciated.
I would too.
Victoria will pay no mind and just plow on toward a room and point at the door and go, put it in there, Oshi. You can unpack him in a bit. I want to go back out on deck and get a little bit of sunshine while we pull out.
You don't really get a response for the thank you. But yeah, he just goes on and leaves you all there to do what you want. The captain did tell you all that you were free to roam about the ship. As you can see, it's a very large ship. There's a whole lot to explore. You have pretty much 4 days of travel at sea. If the sea is willing, that is. Depending.
Yeah. So how will we divide the rooms? Since there's only 4 and 5 of us.
Well, I assumed her ladyship and would room together. But
Whatever works.
Victoria's already like marched off with her parasol, so if you was asking, you'd have to ask Oshi.
I'm right behind you. No.
Oh, I thought you were putting my bags in the room.
I mean, I'm in the room already. Like, that's where I'm at already. That's what I said.
Oh.
I'm already in the room. I'm just sitting in the room now.
Yeah. I asked you to put my bags in the room, and I went up back on the deck.
I'm still in the room by myself.
so they'll take that one, and then I guess we'll just split the other ones amongst the 3 of us.
Sounds good.
Good with that.
Or if there was any objections from her ladyship, she could have stuck around and voiced an opinion.
Agreed.
Very true. I will just grab one of the rooms in the back, set my stuff down under the bed, make my way back up to the deck.
I will set the things in the room and just start wandering the ship. Probably starting with the deck. Go top down.
Alright. Well, as
I'll take
stated...
whichever room they left. Like, I deliberately picked my room last, let them take the ones they want, and just take whichever one's left over, and then head below deck. I want to try to find, like, the... trying to remember all my ship terms. Like, the ship's cook, the quartermaster, like, anybody who's we may have displaced out of these rooms, and just try to, like, get a feel for the hierarchy of the ship, who's who, meet some people.
As you ask around for, like, people in charge, you ask passing sailor crewmate, and he's like, well, there's only the captain and the first mate, as far as I'm aware. Not many people in the... what's she call it? Officer quarters? Kinda looks at you weirdly.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just keep kind of walk around to get a lay of the land, so to speak.
It's about the same a little bit everywhere. On the deck, you see a lot of still sailors scurrying around. Like, now the sails have fully deployed, and the ship is starting to move a little bit into the open sea ahead. Just crewmates running around, tying loose ends. The further down you'd go under the deck, you'd see people making sure nothing's would fall during travel, securing things, and mainly the cook would be in the area back here, prepping a little bit, waiting for movement to stabilize a little bit. Because it's just started, so it's kind of a bit of a... a push.
Victoria's going to be at the bow of the ship. No, not going. She's not going the Titanic. She's just twirling her parasol over her shoulder as she looks out onto the ocean.
You get a few looks from the sailors who are running about on the deck, but nobody really comes and bother you.
If any of them are cute, she'll give them a shy southern smile.
If you really want it, you could always throw me, a perception check to see if any one of them catches your fancy.
No, she's not really. She's not really interested in that. Just, if any of them kind of like look cute, she's gonna smile at them. But she would never be caught dead with a sailor.
I would never be caught dead with common rabble.
No. She's got enough problems dealing with her mother as it is. She don't want to associate herself with that kind of problem.
Well, most of them you notice are pretty rough-looking guys. There's a few of them that are more like scrawny-looking. You'd guess they're probably the ones that like main the crow's nest and just check around some things while the other do all the heavy lifting. But once the ship has started sailing, it starts calming down on the deck, and the crew member starts moving downstairs a little bit to settle down, take care of their chores, whichever they need to take care of. Alright, so in terms of exploring, who's exploring where?
I just probably look below deck, not really too deeply, just, see where everything is.
Right, so are we talking you'd roam around the dining area and cook, or would you go into the storage to...
I'd do a bit of both, and kind of looking for whoever might have cast that spell, really, would be what I'd look for. Because I wouldn't want to bother anyone but them.
I suppose you could do an investigation check.
Alright, sounds like a fun plan.
Because you've only, just caught sight of the dudes casting it.
Yeah. Alright, so how do I do this? I'm asking how I do this.
Okay, if you go in your journal and click on your name and then character sheet, I think, if I remember right, if you go
I put everything in there.
If you go click on investigation, it's gonna roll it. Like if you click on the name, it should roll it.
Well, there we go.
Nice. Alright, so as you're kind of roaming, looking around, you kind of catch passing conversation between two sailors. There doesn't seem like really much at first. I have a character sheet. One moment. Yeah, when I open it, it does that. Okay, so you catch a passing conversation. It's basically two sailors. They're kind of whispering between each other. They don't seem really happy about something. You hear something about the first mate and about the captain and how somebody's not happy about something that happened, but it's pretty hush-hush, so you'd have to get like closer to them a little bit to hear what's being talked about.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't bother.
Alright. Then...
Ship's business, not mine.
Ship's business, not yours. Okay, as you'd find a carriage, you'd find, Lady... what was it? Lady Umberstore's carriage packed towards the back of the store. Looks pristine condition. You don't see any other sailors that deep into the ship as the other two that were whispering. So who knows, maybe the people you're searching are in the kitchen, or maybe they weren't part of the travel. Who knows?
Oh, I'll just keep my eyes open. I have 4 days. That's me tracking them down as likely.
As we're walking around the ship, just sort of taking things in, is there any sign of the cloaked figure who just kind of got on the boat with us and then wandered off on their own? First crossed paths with them anywhere else on the boat?
Would that be... Yeah, just make me a straight perception check.
Sure. Nope. Probably not.
Sadly, you do not catch any other sight of the cloaked figure. She's probably below deck, they're probably below deck, he or she, in a room to themselves, because they weren't led into the same quarters as you were. Seems like whoever paid for your voyage has given you the royalty treatment for some reason. But that person wasn't. Alright, does anybody else want to try to do something else? Or like gather themselves, settle down?
Wandering the ship, checking things out.
Sticking to the deck, enjoying the view of the ocean.
Staring at the wall.
If anybody approaches her, she would regard them and strike up a conversation, but she's not going to go out and seek it herself.
Weirdly enough, the crew seems to not stay ways away from you a little bit. Like, they're talking amongst themselves.
She's
really
used to the help not
conversation.
bothering her, so.
God damn it.
Oh,
But was more referring to the other passengers that embarked with her.
yeah. Alright, so Portia, as you are roaming around, also, you would at your turn hear two other a small group of crewmates that have like assembled themselves in like a small circle in a corner, talking in hushed voices. If you want, you could make a perception check if you want to know what they're talking about. If not, they're pretty much just chilling downstairs, waiting for their time, or dinner to be served, more like. with how the sun is oriented. It's about noon.
Wandering through, I'll try and hear what they're saying.
Yep. Just a small perception check.
Roll.
You don't wanna.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, let's see. The conversation you catch is, apparently, the first mate isn't super happy with how the captain has been handling business. They're talking about her as a frivolous kind of woman. As you probably saw a little bit, the way she disregarded and just let you roam onto her ship without supervision. I don't know, they're kind of talking like, oh, it'd be way better if, the Warforged lad, he seems like a leader kind of sort. That kind of talk in the hushed voices.
What a wonderful thing to hear on a ship ride. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear everything, but probably keep an eye on them.
And they're just sitting kind of like all John.
Yeah. I mean, during the trip, I will be keeping an eye on these particular people.
Alright, you will be keeping an eye on that small group of sailors. That seemed like a rowdy bunch.
I think I need is a mutiny at sea.
Right? Except from that, where are you exploring specifically?
More the general open areas. I wouldn't try and go anywhere too private. I just like probably the mess. Probably the mess area, wherever the kitchen is, that area. Probably like, this deck here. So I would probably stay out of the cargo hold. No need for me to be there. Wander around, get a feel for the ship.
Well, the ship is in pretty pristine conditions for how big it is, and so the guy have been like A1 on the maintenance, apparently. As you make your way towards the kitchen, you will see 2 or 3 cooks starting to prepare meals, like chopping up ingredients, and like they're more fancy than you'd be ready to find on the merchandise ship, but
They smell good, or are they not cooking anything yet? They're just prepping.
They're just prepping at the moment.
Okay.
There's no like smell. Maybe a little bit of blood from the fish they're gutting.
I'll watch them for a little while and then make my way back around the ship. Eventually heading back to the top deck and just chilling out until there's other things to do.
Well, as you're stuck on a boat in the middle, at the starting to head into open sea at the moment, there doesn't seem like there's much to do as the captain's manning the bar. Except from that little conversation you intruded, well, not really intruded, you stumbled upon. There's not a lot going on the ship at the moment. Sailors are like waiting for the meals to be prepped, probably tying up loose ends at the moment.
That's my plan. Just hang out. Once I explore some, just hang out on the top deck.
Alright, so then dinner's gonna roll the...
Sorry.
Did you want to add something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, slowly, Victoria would kind of like move around the deck and kind of get a little bit closer to the halfling lady and just kind of sigh, not addressing her, but looking really bored, but not outright like going to her for conversation. But kind of making it almost painfully obvious that she would like somebody to talk to, but not going out and doing it herself.
Of course. Nobles can't start a conversation with us lesser folks. I'd probably let it go on for a little bit, just because it's very exasperating, and eventually I would go, lady, you, awfully quiet on the ship.
Oh, yes, it is. I do love sailing, don't get me wrong, but it can be so boring sometimes, especially when usually I just got Oshi to talk to, and, well, to be honest, he isn't the best at conversation.
Doesn't seem like a talkative type.
Oh, well, he can be very chatty when he wants to be, just, being chatty is one thing, but having something to say is something totally different.
An awfully unique manservant you have there.
Oh, no, he's not my manservant. No. He is my oldest friend. We grew up together.
I don't think I've seen a beast of his type in my times in the lands.
Well, there is a funny story about that, but I don't know you well enough yet. Maybe sometime.
Maybe.
So, if you don't mind, what do you do for work? I mean, obviously, I'm a lady, so I travel around and I buy things and I act important, but other than that, I really don't have much to do. It's quite boring, honestly. That's why I'm actually out here, get away from my mother. She wanted to keep me and she's like rambling on, like, once you get her talking, and I just had to get out of there. Like, it's just so boring being stuck in the house all the time, and traveling is so fun. So I just got Oshi, and we took the carriage and we just left. He's been trying to get me to come home ever since, and I just ain't having it.
I see. Myself, I guess I consider myself an entertainer.
Oh, like a court bard or a traveling musician?
No, I've a jack of all trades. I've done so much.
Oh, well, that is just great. She's gonna like reach in her purse and pull out a gold coin and give it to you. I love supporting the arts.
Well, I appreciate the support. And I will pocket the gold piece.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get famished.
Yeah, kind of look up at the sky. I guess should be dinner time soon.
Well, shall we go see what they pass for food on this vessel?
Looked pretty good when I stopped by what they were preparing. They hadn't started cooking yet, but let's see what's going on.
Well, let's go. She will lead the way.
All right.
Oshi, where are you playing with that?
I'm still in the bedroom looking at the wall.
Okay, so when you if you happen to pass by near the officers' cabins, you hear some god-awful noises coming from inside.
Oh, what is that?
From bird
Awful
pipes.
sound.
Oh,
Oh,
that's just Oshi practicing his music. Hold on. I'll open the door. Oshi, put that away, please. It's time to go eat dinner.
I'm gonna try to play harder. Hold on.
Roll another one.
She's gonna
Again!
sigh.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yes! This is working
Whoa.
perfectly.
He just seems to be blowing harder and louder into the pipes as you ask for him to come with you.
I literally wince in pain from the sound and from pain in the horrid abomination of music.
I'm going to assume he did not hear me, so I'm going to raise my hand and make a gesture, and as I cast prestidigitation, the sound of a loud squawking raven is going to sound in his ear.
Julia, give me the sound. Okay, I stopped playing.
Oshi, it's dinner time. Let's go get some food, and you can practice your pipes later above deck, okay?
Oh, I'm not responding. Nope, I'm just walking behind you now.
You can't respond.
And I'm going to chat up the halfling on our way to the galley. He really does try, and he has a lot of skills. Just he doesn't have. I was never able to impart upon him the more sophisticated manners.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've seen that instrument he's playing, but oh my lord, I've never heard a sound of a dying calf.
You've never even heard that sound when the apprentices were practicing. That's how awful this was.
Wait, I didn't roll a fucking 1. Hold on now.
I am fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. It was pretty loud, though.
Even the worst musicians I've worked with, I don't think it played that badly.
It's an acquired taste. Well, he pulled my carriage most of the morning, and then he had to carry all of that luggage, which, by the way, Ocean, thank you, sweetheart, for doing that. I really appreciate it. Ever since I got that crick in my back, I just haven't been able to lift like I used to. But, so he's probably just tired and was just giving it the best go he could.
All right, so...
And then, that was something. All right. Yeah, something.
Well, it's over now, and we survived, so it's all good.
Alright, as you start making your way below deck, you're gonna see that the crew is seated. Some of them are gonna, as you see, free you up a table for the lot of you, as the cooks are heading out with fish stews, it looks like. It smells pretty great. Explains the gutted fish you saw earlier, Portia. Yeah, mix of bread, fish stews. Start off the dinner.
So, as you see them coming out with the food, you see Abby, following close behind / next to, as best as she can kind of squeeze herself into the narrow hallway with them, and it's just in their ear. I'm like, well, you see, you gotta just stick with me on this. Macros, right? You gotta balance everything out. You can't just dump a bunch of bread in there. It's just gonna throw everybody off the plate. Just giving them a whole lecture on sort of basic nutrition and. Well, you gotta, if you're gonna put fish in there, it's gotta be lean fish. You gotta
You're trying to lecture the cooks.
Yeah, you could tell that she's been at it for the entire time that they've been preparing this meal, and are just sick and tired of listening to it.
The lady you're pestering is just gonna look at you, hand on her hip, and be like, "Listen, Han, you can't just be here following me all night. Just go sit to a table. You'll be served soon."
I'll wave her over.
I'm trying to help you guys out, right? You want your crew to be fit. You want them healthy. You got to be feeding them right. You can't be just dumping anything in them.
Well, be fine. They've been heating this as long as I've been working here. They'll be fine. So she just kind of goes back into the kitchen to prepare more bowls.
Are we all seated at the same table, or?
You have enough space to all sit at the table. The crews are like all seated to the separate. Basically, you're in your own corner, and the crew's in the other corner.
Are the troublemakers in here at the same time as us?
You don't see them, immediately. There, so maybe they're tidying up some things.
All right.
But they're not there yet.
So, you all would notice that Victoria will pull out from her handbag a silken napkin handkerchief and slowly unwrap her own actual silverware to eat with. And she'll look over you all. We thank the light for its illumination upon the world and for its great bounty from the sea in providing this meal to us. Praise be the light. So be it. Before she starts eating.
I'm already eating while reading a book. Unless someone talks to me, I'm just like...
As soon as the prayer starts, I start eating.
Very, very awkwardly tried to, like, be respectful. Like, is it like...
Kind of forgot how to do these things. You're like saying like this, and then just play awkward hand placements.
Yeah, trying to just like pick up the vibe of like.
As you all start eating, tastes pretty good, even if it is only just fish and veggies. Spices, a couple spices in there. The cook still did a fairly good job, even if with Abigail just praising to the choir about, oh, you need to add more stuff.
Is it like a thick stew or thin?
It's pretty thick.
Okay. Then I won't do what I was thinking.
You could, but it's gonna make a mess. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna make a mess.
That's why I'm not gonna do it. It won't have the same purpose.
You can't show off with a thick stew, man.
No. There are limits.
I'll eat about half my food and then give the rest to Oshi. He's a growing raptor. He needs his food.
Alright, Oshi ends up with a bowl and a half. One of the cooks that happens to be passing by sees you do that. She's gonna be like, huffing like, huh, well, I never. And she's not gonna like, say anything else. Just like, how dare you.
Oh, well, bless her heart. She'll never find a husband acting that way.
I just look at her like, you really said that?
Just heads back into the kitchen, probably clean up, or wait to see if there's other demand for food.
Is it good fish stew, or is it just...
It's pretty decent. It's not the best, but it's pretty good for travel. It's pretty palatable, especially on the merchandise ship. Yeah, I guess we'll call it that. I forgot the name of it.
Mercantile. Alright, if it's palatable, I have no problem finishing it all, so...
So the crew, since they've been there before, most of them will finish up and head off to work on the deck, or in the storage area, or just cleaning up It's mostly cleaning tasks at the moment, since it's not even the first day upon sea. There's not much to do. But yeah, you end up almost alone in the dining area, except for the group you spotted earlier, Portia. They came out. They're all a bit later than the rest, so they're still there at the moment. They're just eating. Don't seem to be talking much.
So, I'm gonna turn to Abigail. So, what kind of magic do you use? Are you a wizard, a sorcerer, or... And I'll just trail off.
Um, the magical kind of magic. Yeah, I've studied under a wizard for a while, and learned a few things here and there. Trying to like diversify my skill set a little bit.
Very wise. I'm trying to decipher this, and I plop down this book that looks heavily water damaged, blue cover, and then I open it up, it's just blank.
It's yeah, probably a little tough to decipher something like that. Kind of
And
like
then I take my glass of water and I dump it on the book.
And as he
And
does
then you
that, you start seeing runes appear on the pages as it kind of activates under the water's touch.
Water magic.
yeah. How about that? Fancy's fancy.
Found it in some runes. Devoted my life to this stone. Depending on what type of liquid I pour on it, new things arise.
Oh, oh wow. Okay. I like the sound of that. You would think something that you have to put water, or you have to put liquid on, wouldn't be quite so liquid damaged.
Yeah, that is one of its many mysteries. And then I'm gonna use shape water to, I tilt the glass and then shape the water back into the glass and take a sip.
It's not gonna be the same volume of water that it used to be, because you did spill some on the tome, and the tome did absorb some of it, so I'd say you have about 3/4, half a glass left.
Yeah. I was just like, that's my little parlor trick.
Probably tastes dusty a little bit if you scooped it off the book.
Doing it to make a point, not actually trying to drink it.
So,
no, that ship sailed.
It is sailing.
What
Yes.
sort of liquids have you tried on?
Most blood, water, stew, wine. That took a while to get out. Those are the main ones. Trying to think of something a bit more creative.
What about milk? She will just chime in.
Have done that. Nothing happened.
Oh, there's no special cow magic or anything in there?
I will need to work on that, maybe next time.
Well, you let me know, because I just find that fascinating. I find wizards and sorcerers, like you're talking about your water magic and how diversified you are, and she points to the other wizard, because me, I just channel the light, and what I need to happen happens. So I don't have to study or learn. Just the light inside me just glows and manifests itself in the glory of the Creator.
You are a bit bright.
Thank you.
I don't know if it was a compliment or not, but if it wasn't, it just.
Yep.
It was,
took
just
it
a,
as one.
it was just a statement, plain and simple.
Just take it however you like. Got it.
Yeah.
So at some point, if you are decided to just chit chat around, Portia, the crew you had set your eyes on as possible troublemakers.
I'm keeping a kind of a side eye on them. I'm not trying to make it obvious.
Would that be well, no, not no checks for that.
A sleight of eye check.
Sleight of eye. I want to say
You pop
I
it
don't know,
out,
stealth.
like-
Not really a stealth, but you're kind of spying on them. So maybe a stealth check. Would that be a stealth check?
Up to you.
You could-
GM.
You could do it as a stealth check, or you can also even do it as a sleight of hand check, because sleight of hand sometimes just covers being stealthy with any type of bodily movement. So
Yeah, just kind of like
It
being
could be
nonchalant
a
about
sleight
it.
of hand, it could be.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand check then. See if
Oh, a bunch of different.
they know a bunch of rolls tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it a bunch of different
really
ways.
up to you. So,
Mhm.
I like the sleight of hand.
okay, sleight of hand.
I like the description. The bodily movement. You do your best to be like nonchalant. You notice that one of the group of 7, there's 7, somebody just kind of pulled the chair and like sat with the others because that's like a table made for 6. They kind of like squished together. One of those 7 people, you catch them looking at you at some point, but you're not really sure if they caught you staring or if they're just looking at you because the rest of the crew's like acting weird or wary, or like just standing apart from you guys because you're guests on the ship. But other than that, they just keep to themselves, get up.
Is it a threatening kind of look at us, or is it like just a plain? What kind of feeling do I get from him when he's looking over at us?
He seems a little bit suspicious, like he might have caught you staring. But you're not quite sure. Oh yeah, then after a little while, they get up, just leave their chairs wherever and go do their own tasks. Some of them go below, others go up. Some of them head to the kitchen to help the staff clean up. Kind of just like disperse.
Alright.
Yeah, you are once
out the-
again alone, except for the cooks and kitchen staff cleaning up the mess the sailors left.
While we were eating, I probably was just rambling about what things I've been doing, practicing with the shape water cantrip. You know, the book allows this cantrip that, you know, any mage might know to go beyond. And rambling about what random things he's done with it. And no one's
Victoria.
probably listening.
Oh no, Victoria is very studiously listening to you and being polite and nodding her head and getting the oh, that's very interesting. And you said when you do it like that, it does that other thing. Oh, well, you know, I would never have thought about that myself. I mean, she just seems to be very polite and just engaging.
And then I plop down a water skin. I'm like, you know, you can raise the pressure in this and then it explodes. All sorts of fun stuff.
Interesting. I can point at somebody and set them on fire with just wanting it to happen.
Fun. Although I try to avoid fire. Little bit of a natural opposite.
Oh, that's very true. Well, you know what? It would work out just fine. If I pointed at something and set it on fire by accident, you could put it out.
Perfect.
What was that roll for?
Getting there. As you're having this back and forth talking about, you know, the different spells and how you use them and things like that, you eventually would probably catch out of the corner of your eye Abigail just like slowly bending her silverware until the two ends are touching, like you just snaps it into.
It's not that great of silverware, so I think it might just snap.
Yeah, but it just like does it very slowly. It's trying to not show that it's happening, and then you just see the tink as it splits in two.
And she's like, damn
Oh
it.
my word! See, that's why I bring my own, because you can never get quality from elsewhere.
That's impressive. What kind of spell are you using for that?
No spell, just a little good old fashioned leverage.
Well, that's
Yeah.
even more impressive for a wizard. And then I go and try to do the same, and it's using all my effort. And
You could
it
roll a
bends the
strength check if you really want to give it a go.
no, like I'm joking. It bends the other way. He's trying to bend it. It resists.
And it like flexes.
Yeah,
It gives you kickback.
yeah, exactly.
He's like, oh, can't do that.
Yeah, no.
Well, hasn't this been? It's been so nice getting to know you all. Usually, when I travel, it's usually alone. I don't have such interesting people to have conversations with.
Oh, we have plenty of
Not
interesting.
alone though, right? You have
Well, Oshi doesn't say much. Well, sometimes he can be very chatty, but being chatty and actually having something to say are two different things. Isn't that right, Oshi?
Nods my head. Gonna nod my head very slowly.
You don't gain a lot of insight from whatever creature is accompanying Victoria.
I'm gonna say to Ochi, in Draconic, how do you like the ship?
Do you know?
I'm gonna look at Victoria. I'm gonna look at Victoria and be like, with that, what in the fuck did this monk just say?
He thinks you're a dragon. He's not a dragon.
Oh, Victoria nor Oshi talks Draconic, apparently.
No, but you can. I'm sure most anybody can recognize Draconic being spoken, whether they can understand it or not. That's a very unique language.
Yeah.
It is. You'd be like, either that's Draconic or a very reclusive kind of beast tribe dialect. That's probably Draconic, though.
I'll stick with the he thinks you're a dragon. No,
Well, some scale folks spoke it. I just thought I'd try and be polite.
I'm going to reach my right paw out onto the table and tap my long fingernail on the table, and then make a loud elephant sound in your direction, which to David means this dude's an idiot.
You just had to do that, didn't you? Okay,
Of course
so
I did.
Victoria's gonna look back at him like she completely understands, and all you're gonna hear in return is she makes that noise back at him, which means no, not an idiot, just doesn't understand.
So they seem to either be fucking with y'all or be having their own kind of dialect, is what I assume would look like from an outside perspective.
Unless you speak Loxodon, and if you speak Loxodon, you can understand what we're saying.
Definitely not.
So there's just that sort of like, oh,
That's not a noise I expected you to make.
yeah.
Yeah, same. If I ever did pick up that was Loxodon, that would just add to the enigma.
It would've. It really would've.
I wouldn't, but it would have added.
Well, I think I'm about ready to retire. Thank you all for the very stimulating conversation, and I look forward to hearing more about your water magic. You let me know how that goes for you, and I would request stronger silverware next time. And it was good chatting with you on deck too. I'm gonna head back to my room. Oshi, you're welcome to stay or wander the ship or whatever. I'm just gonna go back and get ready for bed. Y'all have a blessed night. Light be upon you.
Have a good night, lady.
As she makes her way out.
You make sure to pack up your silverware, I suppose.
Oh, of course, I did that after I gave the food to Oshi.
Okay. Alright, so...
I'm gonna slowly push back from the table, not breaking eye contact with Portia, and then stand up very slowly and go, "Aren't you a pretty little girl?" And then walk off.
What? Oh, you were there when she said that.
And it would be in my voice.
That is the weirdest shit you've ever seen. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder for you, Portia.
It does.
Yeah, once the both of them have like left and gone up the deck, clearly I'm just gonna turn to the both of them and be like, that was fucking weird, right? Like that's not just me. That was
Yep.
weird, right? Like
That was weird
That was
even for
definitely
me.
weird. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I've fought monsters.
My time in the Beastlands, I've never seen anything like that. So
yeah.
I've seen literal aberrations, and nope, haven't seen that.
Yeah, not sure what to make of the two of them just yet. That's something. Yeah. Yeah, there's very much kind of flabbergasted by that whole thing between the two of them and how she was behaving and him just hanging out. And
As you are all letting out, you see some of the ladies that were preparing the meal start to light up some of the lanterns that are on the inside of the ship, because it is starting to get dark a little bit as evening approaches. Well, yeah. They don't bother you. You're free to continue your conversation and whatnot. Retire to your room. Captain hasn't shown herself, so you'd assume she's probably still navigating the ship.
Before they cleared out the kitchen, I would have asked if I could have any of the fish, some of the fish scraps, and just on a plate to take back to my room.
What kind of matter of fish scraps you talking about?
I
Bones?
have
The guts?
guts.
You're a weird little man. But she's gonna...
It's for a pet.
She's gonna say that and just come back with a small plate of it. She looks at you weirdly, but She gives you it. Like,
Thank
doesn't know
you.
what you're gonna do with it, but she trusts you not to be like doing
Weird.
anything. Don't do anything funny now. And she's gonna head back to the kitchen.
Once I head back, I pop out my familiar. You'd see a small horned owl. Prowl, would you like some dinner? And he eats it.
Alright, Abby, you see another the wizard in the party summon is familiar. Where yours is still up, I suppose. Just chilling on the near
You
the
have a
crow's nest.
familiar.
I haven't brought them to me or anything like that. They've just been hanging out on the mat, so you wouldn't know that they're mine technically.
Yeah, you haven't really seen her summon it. They just kind of flew up.
No, I was just asking in general if she had one, like making conversation.
No, not really. Not. I mean, yeah, just sometimes. I don't show them off a whole lot. And just yeah, they're around.
Yeah, mine gets quite hungry, and well, since I keep them cooped up, I let them eat with me. But owl feeding grosses many out, so try to do it when not many people are around. As you see the owl going to town on the fish guts.
Just gobbling it down like la la la.
Wait, like what again?
Nope, I'm not repeating that. You missed your chance. Happened one
said-
time. You missed your
Didn't
chance.
catch that the first time.
Nah. We're not doing Kenku mimicry. No wait, I can't click that. Whoops. I clicked the thing. Did I fuck things up? I did not. We're good. Alright. So, as evening dawns is now upon you, anything else you'd like to do, or gonna keep chatting for a little more while?
I think once it gets late, I'll probably just head up on deck, spend a little time there in the evening, just enjoying the cool breeze of the sea, and then eventually gonna head to bed in my room at least.
Mm-hmm.
And keep an eye out for those guys, as usual.
You don't see them again. Seems like they're heading out for the night too.
Once others start leaving, I'd head back to my room and, put the spell book under the bed, like under the mattress, and then go to bed.
I'd head down into the cargo hold area, try to find something that looks heavy enough, and get in a workout. Just snag some of the cargo and just start doing some bench, some lift, get some squats in, like just run through some compound motions, and then
Just bench
head up to my
pressing
room.
in the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah, try not in like just trying to off on our own, not trying to show off or anything, like just trying to like get it in without drawing too much attention, and then heading to bed.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Then, as night rolls by, nothing unfamiliar, unfamiliar. Nothing much happens. You're lulled by the sea. Cap has The captain has been keeping fairly straight course. Not a lot of small waves. Making the ship tangle just a wee bit. Hopefully nobody gets seasick. If you do, if you're not familiar with ship, you're free to roll the con save to see if you get seasick or not. But if not, lulls you to sleep. Yeah, nothing much is gonna happen, and then I'm trying to fucking find something. Anyways. No. Okay, so the morning will roll by. It's a new day on the ship. Day 2 of sailing out of 4. Any plans?
Same as always right now. Obviously, get breakfast. It's breakfast. As always, keep an eye on those people if I see them nonchalantly. Just noting where they are when I see them.
Noting where they are when you see them. You only see 4 of them that day. In the morning.
Okay.
Don't know where the other 3 are, but there's only 4 of them accounted for.
And they're kind of conglomerating around among themselves.
Yep, you've noticed since yesterday, the whole of the crew is like leaving you all to be by yourselves, and they're like mingling between themselves.
Yeah. I'm wondering if these set of people that I've been watching are mingling among themselves, especially, and like avoiding the rest of the crew.
Not really. They're in the middle.
Okay.
So, Portia,
Yeah.
you would see a woman walk into the galley that you did not see the day before, with sort of dark, mostly cropped hair. She's wearing a pair of white leather pants tucked into leather boots, a red sash about her waist, a sort of velvety-looking coat with gold buttons and filigree on the chest, and a white shirt with fluffy lace at the neck underneath, followed by Oshi, as she rather confidently and almost commandingly walks into the galley and sits at your table.
I kind of look up.
I do hope that it is not fish stew for breakfast, she will say.
No, whatever.
And who would you be?
Well, I'm Rebecca, of course. Are you stupid?
No, I've never seen you before.
I was here last night.
You don't seem to recall anybody that looks like her with you.
No, there was a wonderful, very Victorian last night. I don't recall Rebecca joining us for dinner.
Oh no, Victoria's asleep. Get Rebecca.
Did you, I guess, sneak on board behind the rest of us? I don't recall seeing you.
No, I'm gonna look at Oshi. I do not understand why this always happens.
Hold on. Give me a second. I have a response, damn it. In the most Romanian accent you've ever heard anybody say, ever. Out of my way, little twat.
Just raise an eyebrow at that.
That's not where I was going, but thank you for trying, Oshi.
Rude. It's a bit rude.
Yeah, Oshi has been like pretty odd so far.
Oh no, he's been rude, not odd, just rude.
Yeah, at
I've
that
been
time,
rude as
rude.
odd.
Whatever he is, he's pretty rude.
After a comment like that, person's probably going to completely ignore him, probably.
Would you like me to attack you medically? Because we had a long conversation on the deck. And then you accompanied me to dinner last night.
No, my health is perfectly fine, and you're definitely not the person I had dinner with last night.
No. We stopped by the room. We got Oshi. We made him stop playing the pipes and come with us to eat.
I'd come in after a little bit.
You told me that you were a performer. I gave you a gold and supported the arts. I may be regretting that now. She kind of like looks at you down her nose.
At this point, I would just be super confused, unless I have an inkling of what this person might be, being from where I'm at.
Not really. Not to that extent. You've seen people being able to like change their appearance, but not that drastically.
I mean, we may have had one in the circ, so that's what I'm saying, just because the kind of... Unless they're
Victoria
super incredibly god-awful rare in the world.
Like, her mannerisms, the way that she carries herself, her expressions, the way she looks at things, moves, speaks, everything. Not just her appearance, everything about her is different.
As I head in, I probably caught the tail end of that.
There's new people sitting at your table.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people at the circ were doing some things to that extent, but not to that extreme. Like, this is like a whole new person in front of you, pretty much. Like, personality and all.
I'll ask her, Hannah, did you say your name was? I'm Quarry.
My name is Rebecca. Rebecca Understorm. If you wish to be formal, Lady Understorm will work.
Lady Understorm, pleasure to meet you. I'm Quarry.
I do not understand why I have to keep introducing myself. We met yesterday.
Were you the cloaked figure we saw aboard the ship?
No. We had the conversation. I asked you if you poured milk on your book.
Oh. Could I make an Arcana check to see if she's a shapeshifter? Like if
Maybe?
there's anything magical about this transformation?
Sure.
Alright. So this is not normal. My first thing to assume is magic.
Aegon, make me a history check. It is not magical. Whatever is happening with Lady Umberstorm seems like it's part of her physiology, per se. It's not... What happened? Oh, cool.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Am I gonna have to make all the things again? I might.
No, we should be good.
Yep.
Oh, thank God. Okay, Discord crash. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Nope.
I closed the window by accident.
Well, if it's not magical, I'll just roll with it.
That last name, it's like there's something to it, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Okay.
They share the last name.
Yeah.
For some reason, and they claim to be the same person, and it's not magical.
Well, I wish they would hurry with the food. I am famished. I ate too little last night.
About a couple moments after you say that, they are gonna start coming out with the food. It's gonna be normal breakfast, eggs, bacons, bread.
This will do. She will split the bread and just stack it with the bacon and eggs and start eating it like a sandwich. Doesn't appear to have the same manners as the day before.
A little bit
Yeah,
more
it-
brash.
That's the same kind of thing Portia would do. So
I'm gonna hand my bacon to Portia and call her twat again in Romanian.
okay, well, I don't know Romanian, so.
No, like the Romanian accent.
Oh, yes, good.
Yeah, for some reason, Oshi is being very rude to you. You don't know what his deal is, but he's like aiming in on you.
For being rude, I'm taking the bacon he's offering, but it's like it's not a polite thing to call a lady.
No, do not take offense. It is his mimicry. It's how he communicates. He speaks what he hears and only what he hears and how he hears it.
Would
I
make
think
sense.
we hear some new sentences.
So if you were to say, I don't know, the sun is bright, perhaps he would say the sun is bright, but in your voice.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
In perfect pitch and everything, I copy. Interesting.
You see?
I
Probably
clap.
just shiver. It's a bit creepy.
No, but
No, you get
it's
used to it.
novelty.
You think that's bad. When I got him as a child, as a pet, when he started talking, everyone was surprised.
Yep, this poor Portia's just a little baffled about everything right now.
So,
So I'm going to focus on eating her breakfast.
we'll
Yeah,
take another.
Corey would be surprised, but just like he grew up as a wizard archmage's apprentice. He's seen weirder things.
Not that weird though. You've never
Not that
seen...
weird, but he's seen some less weird, but knows to just not say anything after the initial "this is what it is" kind of spiel.
You've grown to accept the weirdness.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a big bite of my sandwich. Like, won't we missing someone?
Yeah,
Some egg kind of falling off on your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail shows up to breakfast last, kind of comes down into the galley, sees the composition of the table, and just has that sort of like, yeah, that feels right. That feels appropriate.
This is fine.
And and just sits down as though like nothing is off or wrong or different at all. Doesn't, and just sits down next to you and just starts digging into breakfast. Just like, yeah.
I shrug my shoulders at you when I see that look on your face as you come in. It's like,
Like, whatever.
So got a couple of days on this boat. I don't know, did anybody bring a deck of cards or a chess set? Or, I mean, they've got a lot of time to kill. And these crew members, don't seem particularly welcoming. Did you guys get that vibe? It seemed to kind of do their own thing.
I could say some of them are definitely far less welcoming than others so far.
I've got cards.
I have
Play
some books if any of
yes.
you would like.
The 4 members that you've been hiring are the first to depart, and they're all going downstairs. If you're still watching them.
He's keeping like a glance at them and keeping an eye up. I'm not hard focusing on them, but I'm still, keeping an eye
You're
out.
like, I got you in my sights kind of deal, but like doing your own thing.
Yeah, like,
Oh yeah,
I'm eating my breakfast and talking, and I can see them over someone else's shoulder, and I'm just, looking at the person I'm talking to, but really kind of glancing at them, those kind of things.
yeah, they're gonna be the first to leave. Abigail is gonna get some breakfast too. Somebody's gonna bring it out to you. Make sure you don't, you lot don't need anything to drink. Courtesy of the captain.
Whatever you got to drink is good.
I could go for some ale.
Kind of waits to see if the others want anything to drink too.
I'm good for whatever you got.
Yeah, we're maybe a little early for ale. Just fresh juice if you got it, water if you don't.
I would agree with Abigail.
I don't know about fresh, but I can do my best. She's gonna go fetch some ale and relatively fresh-ish juice for you.
We're at sea, gotta keep scurvy at bay.
Couple oranges. Or bananas, depending which tale you listen to. Oh yeah. Comes back a few moments later with a pint for Rebecca and one for Portia. Because she wasn't sure what she wanted, so she just nabbed the same thing. And
I just said whatever, so.
Yeah, you get a pint of ale, and both Abby and Quarry are gonna get just some juice that she managed to squeeze out of some oranges she found.
Just so we're clear, table talk, David. The last sentence was from Sean, not me.
Of course.
As you hand the ale out, I'm going to, in pitch perfect mimicry of Victoria, go, day drinking's close to godliness, and tip it towards Abby.
Rebecca is not going to look pleased and look directly at Oshi like he's done something wrong.
You startled that poor cook. But she's gonna be like, oh, there, it talks. And just hand Rebecca her ale and just like scurry off like spooked.
Rebecca's going to take a drink of her ale, but her eyes are going to narrow slightly. She seems to have run into a foul mood now.
It's not good ale. It's not good.
She doesn't care it's ale.
I'm just stating for the both of you who are drinking, it's not that great.
I didn't expect much on a boat, so.
Juice is alright. Bare minimum.
So, eating breakfast, you get that swordsmanship up your alley or is that just a showpiece?
Don't know, I can use it.
You didn't have it on you when we were boarding yesterday. Didn't seem like it was part of your daily wear.
Don't know, I wouldn't have though, would I? As if it's the most obvious reason in the world why she wasn't wearing her sword the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So far, seems like both Oshi and her are a good match in weirdness. Just pointing that out.
My frozen butt looks normal in comparison to them.
If you're bored later and like the spar, I'd be more than willing to entertain you.
Yeah, that might be a good time. I would be a little reluctant to risk harming someone of noble status, but
Do I look that fragile to you?
I wouldn't say fragile, but
Good that it's settled.
okay.
Might I observe when you do?
I don't see why not.
Probably best to have a witness. Bring a med kit. Try to just under my breath that to you.
I slowly put my cup of ale down. I slowly put my cup of ale down with a creepy smile on my face.
Kind of unsettling to see that mix of lizard and bird smile. I'd assume.
No need for a medicine. If one of us gets injured, I can heal.
Oh no, the medicine kit was for me.
Though. She looks really confused.
You've effectively confused Rebecca. Corey.
Just trying to fish a little bit. Think, I was so late to breakfast. Did I miss the pre-meal prayer this morning?
There wasn't one.
Eyeing Rebecca.
There was no prayer.
No? Oh.
No.
I'm just taking notes.
I may have thanked the cook, but other than that, no.
I whisper to Abigail, it's not magic. And go with it.
Alright then. Well, I will see you above deck later, and we will have our spar, yes?
Yes, definitely. Looking forward to seeing what we're all bringing to the table.
Me as well. She'll head back to her room to grab her shield, take off her coat, and then go wait expectantly above deck.
As you are above deck, you're gonna notice that Ursid is now stationed right there, looking over the crew as they swab the deck, like wash it, make sure it's clean. Maintenance stuff, basically.
I will look at him. Me and Abigail are going to spar on deck. We will try not to get blood on any.
No blood on my ship. Is all you get from him.
We'll do our best. But if it happens, I am sure we can compensate you handsomely.
Hmm.
So, having gotten there last, it takes.
What?
I think she's frozen.
We have a second victim of freezing syndrome.
Oh no!
Rods and ass.
What? Did you say rods and ass?
Yeah.
Why?
He froze you, and then now hurt, now Kim.
He didn't freeze me.
Water magic.
Joke.
I'm bad at taking jokes.
I can't do what I was gonna do until she's back. So.
Yeah, no. Hey,
Nothing like high.
There we go.
Ah, there she is.
Yeah.
I was scared
my
we'd let you.
super awesome internet hiccups.
That's fine.
But that's what happens when in the situation that I'm in at the moment. Elaborate on that further. Okay, so I head up to my room. I get my staff. I switch out of my wizardy robes into basically like athletic wear.
Training
kind of-
gear,
Yeah.
like linen vest, pants, maybe boots. If you're feeling like it, you might slip. If
Mhm.
not, because they are swabbing the deck.
Yeah. And then no spell book, no other gear, no armor, no nothing. Just me and my staff, which is way oversized for a wizard staff. Like most of the time you see they have something that looks vaguely in the, like, maybe it's got something fancy on the top, but otherwise it's basically just a quarter staff-ish, something like maybe an inch or two in diameter. This thing is
A club.
beefy. Like, it's a couple inches diameter at the one end, where you would usually expect them to have like a small gem or focus of some kind. It's just this monstrous, dense-looking hunk of rock. And got it, two hands, wielding it more like you'd see someone swinging like a great axe or a hammer than you would typically see them wielding a wizard staff.
She's
And-
basically wielding a great hammer. Bonk.
Yeah.
I just grab my arcane focus to watch this in case I need to intervene. And I'd also grab 2 water skins.
Rebecca will kind of like flex her left arm that has her shield, and she'll sweep through the air with her rapier a few times. A couple swords forms before bringing it up parallel with her nose and gives a slight bow as her left foot goes back and the rapier goes out forward, and she adopts a sword form and waits.
Ursid is watching you both prepare to
And-
spar.
As I watch, what's Rod's character's name?
Quarry.
Cool.
Corey. Whenever I watch him walk on deck and with everything in his hands, I pull out my quarterstaff and spin it around my head, around my neck, and tap the deck twice and look at him sternly.
He thinks you're gonna fight.
Whenever you're ready, Abigail.
I just go to him. No, just watching. Just in case. And then I take a sip out of the water skin.
And there's a brief moment of hesitation of just like, I feel bad about this later. Okay, and she's just gonna come in like full swing with the staff.
That will hit.
Damn, that 20. Nice. Ah,
And
17.
not pulling that punch at all. That is a full swing with everything she's got. That's not holding back at all.
Are you sure that's sparing and just full on battle?
Like just to sort of like make the point. She that first swing comes in with everything she's got.
Okay. She will sort of rebound from that, having missed it, and as she kind of turns and comes back at you, the rapier kind of goes into a feint and then thrusts upwards toward your shoulder. And
Putting some flair.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that gets through.
That hits. 7 piercing. So.
All right. Not bad.
Which shoulder were you going for?
Probably. I really didn't specify, so. I'm right-handed. You pick which you would rather take the blow one, since I didn't specify.
I'll say left.
Okay.
So, staff in one hand, on the ground, just kind of massaging where the rapier struck into the shoulder, and kind of like, yeah, that's not too bad either.
That tickles.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a wound. It is a rapier strike, but it just kind of giving it a little, spit on the wound and call it a day. All right. Well, let's see. Gonna step in with almost like an uppercut swing, trying to come in for like a blow into your stomach.
Okay. I will block it with my shield.
Okay.
And immediately spin and counterattack at your side. You'd think I would still have that on my screen here. I didn't. Because I was looking at other things.
I guess through. So, into my side. Step back from it, taking another poke. And then you've gotten a couple strikes in on me at this point, but instead of wincing in pain or react, you see kind of like a smile start to kind of creep onto my face, and I start kind of stretching out a little bit and flexing a little bit more. As I kick in, well, mechanically I'm kicking in rage, but it seems more like appearance-wise, you just see kind of like my muscles swell a little bit as though they're like filling with some energy.
Okay.
When that happens, what is that? 2. So kind of stretch and flex, and muscles kind of swell up a little bit, and then I blink and teleport to directly behind you, and then take another swing.
Oh, so we're using magic. Okay.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Uh,
I'm watching intently.
I shouldn't have made fun of you for bad rolls earlier.
You should not, sir. That's 20.
So that's plus an extra 2 for the rage. So that's 22 damage as the staff. Like I teleport behind you, and this blow comes in like right into your rib cage from behind. So you just kind of get crumbled in that way.
You hit me in the rib cage, and I kind of stumble and fall over and hit my head and get knocked out.
Oh shit!
With that shit, Ursid's gonna come stomping towards y'all. You can't really tell because he has no like face expressions, but you'd assume he's not happy.
I rush over to her and check to see she's breathing.
Well, unless
And go like this.
she was trying to do lethal damage, I assume I'm breathing.
Yeah, no, we weren't trying to kill you. The first blow was no punch pulled. After that, we were going non-lethal.
I'm just checking and rolling her over, putting her in the rest position, like. And then I'm shape watering from under her in case the deck's wet, so she's all dry.
Now what the hell are you doing on my ship? I told you to be careful.
I'm like, look, all of that bleeding is internal. You said don't get blood on the ship. All that blood is still inside her. It's fine. I'm leaking a little bit, but we're okay. We're just kind of like.
I'll kind of come to and shake my head a little bit.
Ursid's just standing above you. You see Ursid above you, like not happy.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I'm gonna look over toward Abigail, and I'm gonna say, I didn't know we were using magic.
It just kind of happens when I really get into a fight and wasn't really.
As you're talking, she's gonna go, that's cheating. And as she does so, you just hear this cacophony of like tormented voices in your mind as she casts Dissonant Whispers. And I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay.
That's not that much, but okay, you failed.
I failed.
As you take that damage, you must immediately use your reaction and move as far as possible away from me that you can as you flee in terror from my Dissonant Whispers.
I guess the farthest would either be the front or the poop deck, where the captain's maining the ship still.
Okay. So I try to explain that the magic just kind of like leaks out of me a little bit, and that voice is in my head, and I no, rage ends early if I haven't attacked or taken damage. Yeah, no, so rage would be done. So I just like full backpedal on foot. I don't like blink away or anything. I just backpedal out towards the bow of the ship.
I go, wait, I'll seal your... And I just like go, oh, okay.
She'll be fine in a minute. Maybe a little confused.
What did you do to her exactly?
Nothing. I did absolutely nothing.
Insight check.
Do it. Deception versus insight. He can tell you're full of shit.
You just
You
hear
don't
like
care.
a yell from the bow that's like, cheating my ass!
I
I'll
will,
start
sorry.
walk over to Abigail and just go, stay still, let me heal your... Seal, not heal, seal your wounds. And so I'm going to attempt to cast Shape Water to stop her bleeding. To just clot the blood.
Arcana check?
Alright.
While you're doing that, I'm going to cure wounds myself. You see Becky kind of stand up, and just like the light around her, just that's right. The light around her seems to flee for a moment. It seems dimmer where she is standing, as this sort of shadow washes over her.
Like, he's not trying to heal her at all. It's just not bleeding more.
Yeah.
It kind of works, but kind of not. You're
Just trying to make a blood clot.
you're just making water wash over her. I assume. Just like washing the blood away with water, more than clotting it.
I will, after sort of a couple ribs snap back into place from my little bit of healing, I will walk over toward Abigail.
Ursid's following
But-
you.
I just figured a little bit of magic in turn for a little bit of magic was fair.
Not gonna say it's unfair. I just don't. You can't accuse me of cheating, and then good for the goose, good for the.
Well, if you're going to cheat, then I'm going to cheat. That's the way the world works.
It wasn't cheating. It wasn't cheat. It just when I get into a fight and it just kind of leaks out. It's not like I don't get to do it like you do it. I got it. It just like does its own thing. It
I see.
Well,
I don't care. Here, let me see to your wounds before the captain here begins having a conniption fit. And I will reach out if you allow me and touch you to cast Cure Wounds.
Are you
Yeah.
calling the first mate captain?
Or whoever it was, the first mate. I thought it was the captain. I'm sorry.
Ursid's the first mate.
Okay. So I will Cure Wounds to stop the bleeding.
yeah. You
And
make the hole. If you make the hole, you might as well patch it too. I mean,
Huh? Oh,
Ooh,
that's
that's a
better.
good one. And
yeah.
when I do, you feel this sickly feeling wash over you, like a damp cold has seeped into your bones. As the light around you kind of dims a little bit and this shadow washes over you.
That reminds you of a feeling you've had before when you messed around obsidian before. A little bit. Kind of a reminiscent feeling of that.
Yeah, like as that shadow washes over me and the wounds start to close. You see the wound itself like absorbs some of that shadow, like it just sort of soaks it in as the wounds close over.
Arch an eyebrow. Interesting.
Interesting reaction.
You are more entertaining than I thought when we met yesterday.
I'd reckon your entertainment should be followed either below deck or back into your quarters. I believe you've made more than enough of this.
Do you ever stop complaining? How does the captain put up with your incessant whining? And she will just turn around and start walking off.
I apologize for her to.
Get out of my sight. He does not seem pleased with the lot of y'all. Like he's had enough of everybody's shit. He's just stomping off back to where he was stationed.
When he gets to his station, I tap the deck with my staff again and raise up on my tail and go, "Get out of my sight."
Wait, but where were you when he said that though? Because he was all the way over here. He followed them over here, and he was stationed over here when they had to do it.
I walked around with Rod.
Oh, okay. You followed.
Sure, he didn't get involved into a fight, so I had to yeet him off a ship.
Rod, will it eat? Rebecca's just gonna say, I think I'm going to go take a nap, Oshi. I'm a bit sore.
Just a little bit.
And I will head to my cabin to rest for at least an hour. Take a nap.
A short rest.
As you go to head into that hallway that leads to the rooms, you just get a call from me that's like, perhaps a round 2 on a future.
Oh, yes. The next time I know the rules of engagement.
All hands on
Fair
deck
enough.
next time.
I will, yeah. Just head to my room.
Oh, well, you're gonna rest for an hour.
Yep. Trying to remember where my hit dice are on this sheet because normally I'm on the other side telling people they can roll hit dice.
Yeah, you can roll your hit dice. Portia, what the hell are you up to? Well, they're up on the deck.
I was pretty much just watching the fight, kind of off to the side. Not really drawing much attention, seeing what was happening.
Alright. That's a nice roll.
Yeah, holy crap.
Oh, that heals me back to full.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll try to make some small talk. It's actually pretty good with that rapier. I wasn't really sure what to expect. But yeah, held her own.
I'll say to her, that's some interesting magic you have there. Handy.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's a bit of a crapshoot, unfortunately.
Yes.
So is this, and I hold up the spell book. Never know what might come out of it.
So you're just standing off to the side? Portia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was basically trying to not be noticed while they were fighting. Just
Okay.
seeing what was going on.
Sorry, Ron. You can keep going.
And then once they're done the little fight, kind of make myself known on deck and just kind of walk around and see what's going on with maybe eavesdrop as much as I can on the crew, see if anything's going on.
Okay. Since you are walking around and making yourself known, let's see. Oh, roll me a dex save real quick.
What's going on downstairs? Damn it.
The ship just suddenly, makes a brusque movement.
Take that 8, Mo.
You fall on your ass.
Yay!
As Portia roams around, Oshi just suddenly falls on his ass from a sudden movement on the ship, seemingly out of nowhere. If you were to walk by,
if I see any groups conglomerating, I will kind of see if I can eavesdrop on them, while being out of the way.
Make me a perception, or would that be investigation?
Perception, if I'm looking for something.
Yeah, perception. You do spot one of the guys that looked back at you, roaming about. But you don't spot the 6 other guys. You just find that one roaming, taking care of business, busying himself. You don't.
Does he seem to be actually taking care of business, or does he seem to be paying attention to other things while he's taking care of stuff?
Insight?
No idea.
Nah, he seems totally on top of his shit. He's totally on top of his shit. He's paying due diligence. He's like washing, being very meticulous about things.
I'll just keep wandering the ship. I don't want any. Let's see if I can stave off any trouble before, or at least have a heads up.
Where are you focusing your investigation?
We'll see where the crew's working and stuff.
Some of them are in the store, moving crates around a little bit so that they don't bump into each other. Some others are swabbing the deck. Others are lounging a little bit, waiting for their turn to be on the clean crew kind of thing.
Okay. Just keeping an eye out, not trying to bother them, not trying to seem like I'm really doing much other than just walking around the ship in like a like a boredom kind of state.
All right.
Still kind of chit-chatting with Glory after the fight or the spar.
Yeah.
So, do you think Victoria's deal is the same deal, or do you think she's got like a whole different thing? Like, she seemed like a swordsy type. I don't know.
I do not know either. But one thing I do know is the shift between the two isn't magic.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That seemed a little unusual.
Yeah, my first thought was shape-shifting, but now I have no idea.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't anything illusionary. Let me tell you, and kind of rub where the piercing from the rapier had been. Yeah, no, definitely flesh and blood, all real deal.
Rubbing your sore shoulder.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's
Also,
The-
apologies for experimenting on you earlier.
That wasn't a thing that you had. You don't. That's not a thing that you normally do.
Never tried to stop someone's bleeding.
Maybe lead with that, because, like, I mean, believe me, I know the urge to dabble when it comes to new magic, but like, if you mess that up, you could actually do a lot of harm to somebody. You gotta.
I tried it on myself, and it worked. The key is someone else. And, well, you looked in pain, and if it would have helped, it would have helped.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the urge to help. That's always appreciated. But just warn a girl before you go trying new things in the magics department on me. It's just would appreciate just a little bit of warning so I can brace myself
Apologies.
appropriately.
Many things I've wished to try, and many I have not. And I try and pour some water in my hand, making a, just a spear. It doesn't always turn out the right shape, but always close. And then it flows back into the water skin.
Water bending.
Just a little minor thing, nothing too big. Great for playing catch, though. I've seen my fair share of experiments gesturing to my blue-ass hands gone wrong.
That is quite a peculiar shade of skin.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that might be a touchy subject for you. Is that from the book, or is that...
Well, my mentor tried a freezing spell that worked well, and, well, he tried to freeze my feet in place. He froze all of me.
And you're just like this now?
It was a bit of stasis.
Ooh.
The spell he tried was Ice Prison, and he only thought he was trying to freeze my feet. But, unfortunately, I was stuck in there for a solid hour, and now I'm like this. Small price to pay, now he knows how to use the spell. Both of them, actually.
Well, you certainly seem in high spirits over the matter, and doesn't sound like the best of mentors. You don't want to be following in those footsteps.
Well, he's actually very good what he did. It was my idea to try the spell, so, He thought it was a cantrip, but it was much, much higher level. The pages were stuck together. It is water damaged, even sopping wet. Could have been worse. I thought.
For sure, yeah. Can't even imagine.
I have all my fingers, which was surprising. Which you don't really need all of them. As I say, pinkies are for ransom notes.
I'm gonna copy that. I'm writing that one down. Just letting you
Were-
know.
Were you
that
back?
one's going in.
Were you back up on the deck?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! After I fell over, I'm not gonna stay downstairs. I'm putting it in my mind that was because I was downstairs.
Yes, please use that.
That is so sad.
I'm using that.
Wait, you think you were downstairs so you fell? Oh, seeing on your
There's very much of like,
you're emotionally scarring the Genku already. Emotional damage. Anyways.
who is the they that says that say? I can't say that I'm particularly familiar with that they that says such a.
I heard some bandits saying that I stopped at some point. And well, they are right. You don't need them.
So you're basically saying that a bandit threatened to keep your pinkies as ransom notes?
Like cutting off someone's pinky and sending it as a ransom note. Like, it doesn't actually harm the person that much.
Whoa! It hurts!
They won't die.
For a caster, depending on the somatic components you need,
Yeah.
the pinky might be more important than you think.
Well, I've been told that too, but I thought the saying was entertaining. Unfortunately, the bandits didn't last that day. As, well, I brought their ransom in, safe and sound, except the pinky. They did not find the phrase entertaining, though.
Neither
Certainly
is a
makes an
victim.
impression.
Yes. But they were returned, and it was reattached. Just took a few days. Rich people can afford good healers.
As you're all chit-chatting, exploring, whatever, you're noticing that the sun is starting to near noon, about-ish, probably around that time. So you're gonna start seeing the crewmate, shift and, like, head downstairs for, mealtime.
Oh, looks like it's just about lunch.
I got an appetite just watching you two. That was hard work.
He says that
How
as he
much-
only watered you down.
About how much time has passed at this point?
You've slept your hour. It's been a little
You've
past an hour.
napped successfully.
You've napped successfully. You've been lounging in bed, probably, basically.
Oh yeah, woke up feeling like a new woman.
God.
Literally? Maybe literally.
So wait, every time you nap, you change to, or is it? I thought it was just long rest.
Nope, there is a system to it.
Okay.
We do not know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting to
Mysterious.
know.
Behind the
Just-
curtain. Wahaha.
Just the DM knows.
Yeah.
The person I kind of know too, and the person that knows doesn't speak regular English. Ha ha ha!
Yep.
Speaks mimic English.
But if Oshi's still on deck with us when we go to head to lunch, I'll turn to him and just be like, you may want to go snag Rebecca. I'm sure she could use some lunch as well. And just head away, just kind of making the assumption that we understand.
Victoria's actually already going to be in the mess hall.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yep, you don't see Rebecca, you see Victoria again.
Of course.
Portia, you would be also noticing that the crew members are starting to make their way, depending where you are on the ship, back up or towards the dining area.
Yeah, I'd make my way back too. Yes. And maybe keeping an eye out, which of the crew kind of stay behind. Or lag behind.
Let's see. You see about 6 of them lagging behind the others.
Same group.
Nope.
Okay.
6 new faces.
Alright.
Kind of talking between themselves.
Can I catch a word of what they're saying at all?
Let's see. Kenya. Yeah. Pretty much. They're still talking the same tune, but they're kind of hyping it up a little bit. Like, they seem a little more convinced and vindictive in their,
So more people have joined the possible mutiny.
You don't know if it's mutiny. It's just so far it's discontent towards apparently there's something going on around the
Discontent leads
camp.
to mutiny.
And there's growing discontent within the crew. As far as you've seen, the captain has been only happily like manning the ship. She hasn't actually like you haven't seen her come down or like hang out with the crew. She's just like letting them do their own thing. Letting their first mate probably handle shit.
I will definitely keep an eye out. And, possibly discuss it with the rest of the group tonight.
Alright. Well, the same table is free for y'all. There seems, Victoria, you seem to notice, because of that perception, you can notice that, there looks like, there's a group of, crewmen and then another group of crewmen. They're a little bit apart. Yesterday they were more like together, but now they're a little bit more separate for some reason.
Okay.
You'd be able to notice that. But yeah, dinner comes out. Dinner. Lunch, I should say. Dinner's later during the day.
I will patiently wait to eat until the rest of my traveling companions have arrived for a proper blessing of the meal.
For that dinner, it's just a little mix of meats and like cheeses, something fairly light. They're probably just emptying their stock.
Charcuterie board laid out on the table.
Not that fancy and not that big, but kind of reminds of that. Cheaper, way cheaper.
Yeah. I definitely like plopped down into a chair next to Victoria and was like, "Oh, did you have a good nap, Vicky?"
I have to apologize for two things, okay? First of all, please don't ever call me Vicky. It's Lady Vic or Lady Victoria. But not Vicky. Never Vicky.
Oh, okay. I mean,
And two, I'd like to apologize for Rebecca. Her mouth can get her into trouble, and she's a bit impulsive. So I do apologize for her behavior earlier.
oh no apologies necessary. All's fair in the end, and I quite liked her. She seemed nice.
She doesn't respond.
No.
No.
Well, all's well that ends well, I suppose.
Yeah, I just when you really get to know somebody once you fight them a little bit. I just warm up to people.
Right. Well, that's good.
Kind of
Not
awkward now.
yeah. Not so much your thing though.
Oh, I fight when I have to. I just don't go looking for them like she does.
Hmm.
And I prefer a mace or a good sturdy staff, depending if I've had my shield or not. Plus, some good scale armor. Yeah. She just kind of nods to herself.
Must be tiring to carry both a sword and a mace.
Oh, well, you wouldn't carry them at the same time, and I don't use a sword. Rebecca uses a sword.
Right. My apologies.
But you both like to get up close and personal.
I mean, not really. I really don't like being in those situations because, not to be rude or not, or not to be rude, but the more physical type of people tend to sometimes have a scent to them that I do not find entirely pleasant at all times, and generally I would rather stay back and stay out of it, but offer my other skills instead. But if it comes down to it, I ain't afraid to step forward to take care of something that needs taken care of.
So, we've heard about the four of our skills, Portia and Ochi. What do you do when you're backed into a corner?
Who, me?
M2.
Oh, Portia and Oshi, sorry.
Yeah.
I literally just tap my staff on the deck and say "Panky" in your accent.
Panky?
Pinky.
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 I try not to get caught in the corner in the first place.
Well, proverbial.
Oshi is very martially skilled, among other things.
I can handle myself with a sword if necessary.
Interesting. Any other talents?
Not really.
Since we all got the same letter, we might need know a bit about that sort of information.
No. If I get in trouble, I gotta stab something. Whatever fate has in store, has in store.
And
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Let's say after everybody's food got there, of course, she's going to be, may the divine light, the holiest of the duo, banish the darkness from sight and give us sustenance as we take this food and thanks. So be it. Good to eat.
So,
Completely just, it's like, Portia kind of rolls her eyes back a little bit every time you say the prayer. So
There's a rough wave that's gonna hit the ship whenever you mention banishing the darkness.
So what is it with that letter we all got? I was looking for adventuring work to gain more experience, and I got that. So it's either two things, a job offer or, well, bad news.
It could be my mother.
Your mother hires adventurers?
No, but Well, no, I suppose that wouldn't make sense then, would it? Have y'all come along and she's just trying to get me. Though I am not unaccustomed to receiving correspondences of all sorts.
I mean, I also put my services out as a wandering sage, but given the various people we have here, I doubt that's the case.
It does seem quite eclectic.
Did you get 2 letters, or did you get? I'm very much interested in all of this.
What do you mean?
What? One for you and one for Rebecca, or is it just?
Why would there be 2 letters? I got the letter, not her.
Why? So she's just tagging along, uninvited.
Well, right now she's sleeping.
But yeah, there's only one letter for Victoria and Rebecca. But
I just try to like lean towards Corey a little bit. It's like, this is amazing. Like, just very like, this is fascinating. Like, what the? Like, trying my best to not let Victoria know that I'm like kind of geeking out about that a little bit, and it like not magic, but it's very clearly like
should be.
And just her back like, oh yeah, no, I yeah, that makes sense. I totally see your point.
Look, I know it can be strange to get used to, but you will.
No, I mean it's fine. I'm just trying to understand so I can, be respectful of the situation that we all find ourselves in together. I don't want to be rude about anything.
Let me try and explain a little bit better, because I don't want you feeling like you're lacking in your knowledge, okay? Not just fucking southern undercuts.
I lean in.
When I'm awake, she's asleep. And when I'm asleep, she's awake. And sometimes both of us are sleeping and one of the others are awake. So that happens a little bit more rarely. And then, of course, there's the other ones. But it's very rare that they wake up. Usually they stay inside with the girl.
that is super confusing.
I take notes.
So, all right, okay. So there's a few more to meet along the way. That'll be interesting.
Well, there's me. There's Rebecca. There's the Wailing Widow. There's the Maiden of Virtue. There's Eve. And then there's the girl.
That must be some sleep schedule you keep track of.
Well, I'm still not entirely sure how that works, though. I suppose if you wanted to talk to one of the other ones, if they were willing to come talk to you, they would. But basically, our job is to take care of the girl and make sure she stays safe. Do you understand a little better now?
Sure, yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I just
Good.
Well,
I whisper, no, not at all, to Abigail.
I say it out loud. I say it out loud, not a thing. I don't understand a thing.
It's okay. Don't think too
Yeah.
hard about it. I don't want you to hurt your head.
Just try to lean. Like I'm sure you'll pick it up. It's not so. It'll just take you a minute. I think I got it though.
We'll nod in agreement.
All right. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm being respectful of you. I made the mistake of jumping to Vicky when you prefer Victoria, but Rebecca doesn't mind Becky. So it just want to make sure that I
She is
being kind all around. Sorry, what?
She is a bit unrefined.
Well, I don't know. She's maybe a little more high speed.
I would suggest though, like I said, it's a very rare thing. The maiden would be fine to speak to, but if you ever meet the widow, I'd suggest just not conversing with her at all, and just let her do what she's doing. It's probably best for everyone.
So while y'all are having this lovely little explanatory conversation, most of the crew has left the dining area, so it's you plus a few others. Just gotta point that out. Continue.
Let me know when they're all gone.
Okay.
Gonna finally loop us in on what all you've been picking up.
Well, the few ones that are remaining are pretty much, kitchen staff. So they come and go a lot.
And they're off in the kitchen, so.
Do I catch would I catch if you're trying to?
Well, you might, if you pay attention, you might see me looking around, watching people leave.
I'd say, do you want to speak in private?
I think we're good.
Alright.
Yeah, a few more moments after that, you're gonna see, the guys and ladies that, serve the food and whatnot just retreat into the kitchen area.
Alright, well. I think I've got enough walking around this ship to have a good gist of the crew's mentality currently. And let's just say that there's not a lot of positive words for our captain.
Oh, well, that's not good. Maybe Oshi can cheer him up by playing his pipes.
I don't think so. And let's just say it's, I hope whatever they're planning to do having until after we're off the ship. But I would just keep an eye out before then.
I mean, I don't know if I can really blame them. A fight just broke out on deck a little while ago. The captain's barely keeping things under control here. I mean, it's just an outrage.
You were the one fighting.
The ship's running, so.
Again, I am so sorry for what Rebecca did. It was completely unacceptable.
Well, it started alright. It just was the ending.
I mean, I ended all right from where I'm sitting, too.
Thankfully, she wasn't too upset.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Wouldn't want to be on any of your bad sides. And then I look at Victoria.
Raise an eyebrow. I really don't have a bad side. I mean, living life in the light is what I do.
I'm glad.
And yes, this hurts my own head. Just so you know.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
You're pushing your accent out so hard.
I'm loving it, honestly. So finish up with lunch. Just kind of hang out on deck, I guess, for a while. Just kind of.
As you finish lunch, all of you will hear clamor up on the upper deck, and that is where we're gonna end the session for the night.
A clamor?
Clamor.
Clamoring.
A ruckus.
Clamor?
A giant clam is attacking the ship, guys.
Clamor is
Oh, God.
weird. It is a
I will be
word.
the first one to die.
You...
Oh, he grabs the blue guy and yeets him at the clam.
Kim, if you didn't catch the joke, I'm deathly allergic to seafood.
Mhm.
That was my assumption. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Alright, for those watching the stream, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next week for session 1, where we find out whether or not Mutiny is on board.
Stay frosty, just like a cold glass of iced tea, y'all.
We shall see if
Bloody
there's mutiny on the
twat.
bounty.
And we shall see if who's gonna walk the plank.